Welcome to Phenom Bingo, the all-in-one app for hosting epic music bingo nights on Windows or Mac. Whether you're a DJ, event planner, or community organizer, this demo will walk you through setup to gameplay. We'll cover how to build your library, customize settings, and run a seamless game. With Phenom Bingo, you can have unlimited playlists, digital or paper cards, and it automatically detects extended screens for broadcasting. So let's start from scratch and build up to a full game demo. Before you can access any features in the app after you download, the first thing you need to do is create a profile. So you come to Account, click on Profile. Now I've already created a profile and you'll see a warning here saying don't change any details because your registration code is generated from this detail, but that's not our concern at the moment. So you just fill this out in full, your name, your business name, and ensure that your email address is correct. Because if you forget your password, we will send a one-time password to this email address. Once this information is entered, click Save, and you'll see a message saying that your profile exists locally, but it isn't synced to the server yet. And do you want to do that to start your 14-day free trial? Click Yes. You'll be prompted to enter a password, and you're away to the races. Your 14-day free trial will auto activate. So once you've done that, you're good to go. I'll cover the subscription in another training, obviously, but basically, when it comes to subscription management after the 14-day trial, if you choose to continue with us, you can either opt for a monthly subscription or you can do a one-off 1-month access. Okay, so that's the subscription management. Everything is contained within the app. You don't have to worry about searching through emails for registration keys or logging into different websites to find your license keys. Everything is within the app, and it's controlled on a global server. Okay, so that's that. Let's start with the settings. Now, these are sort of important and the backbone to a successful configuration. The file, so we went to settings, general settings. The file library directory is where you store all of your music videos for every single playlist that you have. Okay. Some systems want you to put your videos into separate folders per playlist. Phenom Bingo has all your videos for all your playlists in one place. So what this means is that you can easily reuse videos in different playlists without duplicating those files on your drive and chewing up extra space. This just puts everything into one place. The winner video file, that is the video that plays when a player calls out bingo and you check and they've got a bingo. And the winner audio file is the music that plays behind that. So your video file is an MP4 file, and your audio file is an MP3, obviously. Then we have a no bingo audio. So if somebody calls bingo and they don't have it, then that's the audio that plays there. And then the logo image file is the overlay that gets displayed on the screen, the broadcast screen, when you are playing the game. Okay. It also is the one that flashes between songs as you're going through your playlist. Very easy to do. Just click on select directory or select video or select audio and navigate to where you have your files and click select directory. Play settings. So this is where you set the font size and font color, background color and opacity for the game name or playlist name and artist title display, both on your screen, so within your play game dashboard, and also on the broadcast screen, on the game broadcast screen, if you are broadcasting to an extended screen. So you can just come in, change the font sizes, just experiment, see what works for you. These are pretty good, but you may want them larger or smaller. The font colors, this is the text color, this is the background color. Opacity is basically the transparency. So how solid is the color? So this is at 80% opacity, which means that it's solid, but it's still semi-transparent. Gives a nice effect, so you can still just see the video behind the background. To change your font color, just click on the square, and a color selector will come up. You can either just select your colors like so. Bright colors are always good for this sort of thing because they show up very well, especially if you're in a large venue. If you know the RGB code for the color that you want, just simply enter that. Or if you know the hex code, so if you've got your logo and that sort of stuff, and you know your brand colors, and obviously they're bright enough, you can just paste in the hex color for the color that you want, and that will set it that way. So very, very easy to set up your font colors. And obviously your background, you can change your background colors and that sort of stuff. So simply click in the square and change it. There's a played song review, which will scroll up a list of songs that have played. You can set the header. Once again, you can set the font size, the color, the background. So the same sort of thing as up here. You can adjust the space between the header and the first song listed, and also the scroll rate. You probably want to slow that down so it doesn't go zipping up at the speed of light. So that's the display settings section. So once you've set all that, click save. Pre-event promo. And what these are just videos, MP4 videos that you can play before the game or between rounds to promote. Now you can either just do a bingo, music bingo tonight from 7 o'clock, whatever, have a nice animated slide which will auto loop. So you can actually set the video up to auto play and auto loop. Or it can be a promotional video where you're talking and you're announcing a promotion, a competition or whatever. So you can easily add new promos, just go down and select the video that you want. When you launch, if you've got an extended screen attached and it's all on and connected, this will launch in full screen mode directly to the extended screen. You don't have to drag it across. You don't have to maximize it. You don't have to find the play button and the loop button. It will do all that for you automatically. So we just click launch and it will load and play immediately. It will loop through and away you go. So and I said, like, if you had an extended screen, it would just go straight up there in full screen mode. So very useful, just a nice little add-on. Let's close that. The next one is sound effects. You can build your own sound effect library. Now these are short, 1 second or maybe less sound effect files that you can load up into Phenom Bingo and then select which sound effect you want to play between songs as you're moving through your playlist. So very easy to set up, and yeah, it just makes it more personal to you. You can choose whatever sound effects you want to play between games. Okay, so now with the basic setup done, let's move on to manage. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So this is where we set up our video library, our playlists, and our cards. Okay, so video library, this is where all your videos go. Okay, now remember we set up the video library folder in general settings, and so it knows where to find the videos. If any videos are missing, when this opens, it will actually tell you which ones are missing. So all your videos for all your playlists come into here. To add a video is very easy. You just click on add videos and the selection list will open. Now there's lots of videos in here, and because I'm doing a screen recording, my system is running a little bit slow. But now, as you can see, I can select one, I can select all, I can press Command A, which is I think Control A on a PC, and I can select everything in there if I want. Now, the system will check if the file name has already been added to the database, and if so, it will be skipped. But if you've got the same video with a slightly different file name, then it will bring it in. So you may end up with two videos of the same videos in twice, just because the file name was slightly different. So just be aware of that. Just make sure your videos are clean and that you're not doubling up. You can also see a naming convention here. If I sort of drag this across, the system will automatically split off the artist and the title based on the naming convention of the file. And it's just, come on, let's try and make this bigger. So as you can see, we've got artist here, Ozzy Osbourne, space, a dash, a space, Crazy Train, space, and then we've got a bracket with clean, a single. So basically what the system will do is it will look for this first space dash space and go, okay, everything before that is the artist. Then it will look for a bracket and it will say everything after this is everything after the dash and up to the bracket is the title. So that's one naming convention. The other naming convention, if I can find it, is underscores. Okay, so here we've got one here. So we've got artist, Beverly Hills 90210, underscore, so there's no space, just underscore, Beverly Hills 90210 theme, and then underscore, and then some other stuff. So once again, what the system will do is we'll look for that first underscore, so everything to the left of that is the artist, and then say everything to the right of it, up to the next underscore, is the title, then it will ignore the rest. Now, naming conventions aren't that critical, but the point is that if you want things to come in cleanly and have the system split off the artist and the title nice and clean for you, then these are the two naming conventions that work best with the system. Okay, once they're brought in, you can delete individual entries as long as they haven't been already attached to a playlist. So if I come here and I click delete, it'll say you can't delete it because it's in a playlist, which is fair enough, right? But if they haven't been attached to a playlist, you'll be able to delete. Or you can just come down here, select multiple options with these checkboxes, and come up here and go delete selected. You can search on artist or title. So if I type in something like Queen, I'll get Queen the artist, but also get Queen that's also in the title here. Okay, so very, very quick to come through and search. You can sort as well, sort by artist as well, or as it just comes through. So very, very easy. The other thing you can do, if you want to change the title, the artist, you can do so in here. If you need to increase the volume, if this is a little bit soft, you can add a little bit of compression, increase the gain a bit, click on normalize, and that will just do it on the run. Okay, well, I'll cover that more in full training. But once you've set up everything in here, you can click save. So that's your video library. Once again, remember, all your video files go into the folder that you've nominated under settings. Everything for all the playlists. Okay, so we come to manage. So now we're going to do playlist, manage playlist, and I'm going to add a playlist. Obviously you can edit and delete and do all sorts of stuff. We're going to call this test 3 just to show you how quick it is. So say I come down here and so I want some Queen. So I type in Queen, all the Queen songs come up, and now I can just select which ones I want out of this list. So I want these. Once I've got them selected, add selected, they're into the playlist and they're taken out of the general library, so you can't add them again. So you just come through, quickly search for whatever. Now, like here, I'm searching by band. I might want to search by song. I might want Stairway to Heaven. So I just start typing. if I could spell correctly. Stairway to Heaven. We did. Okay, so we can just put that in. Right, so as you can see, very, very easy. Now, obviously, there's not many songs. You want a lot more songs in here, but that just shows you how to add the songs to the playlist. Once the song's added to the playlist, you can set the start time for each video. Okay, so you can. I'm just going to turn the volume down here because I don't want to be done with the copyright strike. Now you can either scrub through the video like so, all right, or you could play the video through, find the exact spot that you want, and you can click set the current time, or alternatively, you could just come in and just type in the number of minutes and the number of seconds. Okay, you can either type it in manually or use the scrub or play through to find the perfect spot. Once all that's done, click save. The last thing in manage is cards. So these are your paper and digital cards. So regardless of whether you're using paper or digital cards, you do have to generate cards. And then obviously you only have to create the PDF if you're planning on printing them and using paper cards. But the first thing you need to do is come into the card generation settings, enter the number of cards you want generated, enter the layout, whether you want artist and title displayed on the cards, although only title will display on the mobile app. And then a heading here. Now this heading text only displays on the printed card. It doesn't display in the digital card. Logo image, this is your logo. This will be this will be printed on the printed sheet on the printed card, but it will also be displayed in with anything to do with digital cards. So when the join screen comes up with the QR code to join the game, it will be this logo here, and also the logo in the app will be this logo here. You can also optionally have a secondary image, which is we use it for QR codes, for Google reviews, or links to our Facebook page for people to follow. You could even use it for advertising if you get a sponsor or something, but that isn't required. You don't have to have a second image, but that's there. And once again, the second image won't display on the mobile app. So that's the manage section set up with the video library, creating the playlists, and setting up your card generation. So once you set up your settings here, you save that, and then simply click on whatever here to generate your cards. Okay, so now we're going to move on to play game. This is where all the settings and all this work is leading to a nice, smooth, exciting, enjoyable game. All right, this is the business end of the deal. So this is your play game host console dashboard. So a few things here. Game settings. Now this game settings, you really don't have to come into that often. Usually the only thing you're going to be changing from gig to gig, venue to venue, is the location of the game name, the artist and title, and the pattern, the winning pattern. The rest is will more than likely stay the same regardless of where you are. Obviously, you may have to just adjust these locations based on the venue, the location of the screens, and that sort of stuff. So basically, very easy to follow. Where you want the game name or the playlist name to be displayed, where you want the artist title to be displayed, whether you want a delay in showing the artist title, the winning pattern, where you want that displayed, and then your fade in, fade out. Sound options. So this is what we're talking about before in the sound effects area. So the sound effects, when you set up those sound effects, when you add those sound effect files and you name them, it will build this little menu for you, and you can then choose the sound effect that you want and click that you do want sound effects. And you can also adjust the sound effect volume. So at the moment we've got this sound effect set to 50% volume, because some sound effects can be a little bit loud. We don't want to go blasting speakers or eardrums. So you can adjust all that. Digital game options, you can select to enable auto marking, which means that if the player needs to go to the restroom, go to the bar, take a call, or is otherwise distracted, the song as after it's played will auto mark after a certain number of seconds, and you can set that here. In our live venues, we have this set to 20 seconds, which means that if anything happens, the system will keep them updated, but it won't interfere with other people calling bingo if these people are away. Right? But the maximum cards per player is the absolute maximum cards a player can request. So you can set any number here. And then the default cards per player, that's what it defaults to when the app opens up. And the show bingo alert will, if you've got your game display window happening, when they hit the call bingo button, a bingo alert overlay will come up on the big screen, notifying people that somebody's called bingo. Review link, that can either go to Google reviews or Facebook reviews, wherever you want to get reviews. If you leave this blank, the review button won't display, but basically when you hit stop game and everything sort of resets, the digital player will get a notification on their phone saying game's over, and they'll option to be asked to leave a review if that is set. Okay. Once again, like once these are set, you generally don't need to change them, and obviously the auto shuffle playlist when you load it. Okay, so as I said, these ones here are the sort of the main ones that you change gig to gig if required. Once you made your changes, click save. Set pattern. You've got horizontal lines. We've got vertical lines. We've got diagonal lines. And we've got corners. And of course, we've got the full house. Okay, so you just come through before you start your game and set the pattern. Right, you can also override the pattern at any time during gameplay. So what we're going to do, the general flow of things, and I'll include digital game in here as well. So the general flow of things is, once you've got your game settings sorted out, you've got your game pattern set, we're going to come down and we're going to select a playlist. Now I'm going to select a small playlist because I want to sort of take you right through to a point of somebody calling bingo, and how we either check for somebody who's got a paper card and how we check for somebody who's got a digital card. So I'm just going to use this small playlist. Now we can shuffle, so we just click here and we can shuffle the playlist. All right, we can move songs up individually, we can move songs down individually, we can move songs to the top, we can move songs to the bottom. Right, you can move everything around right up until you click start game. As soon as you click start game, you'll notice that these buttons will disappear. So nobody can turn around and say, oh, you've rigged it, you need cheating, because quite frankly, once the game starts, you can't change the queue even if you wanted to. All right, so before we open the game window, we're going to click Start Digital Game. This is if you're doing digital. Now, if you had an extended screen set up, this window would appear on the, it would go directly to the extended screen, but I don't have an extended screen here at the moment. So this would be displayed on the big screen, and all the players have to do is get out their phones and scan the QR code. That will open up the digital game. They enter their name. I'll close this. When I click join, you'll see the join request come through. You can accept or deny. I'll accept. Now this is also a floating window, right? So it will not stop you from doing anything over here on the main window. Okay, so you can continue to go through your songs, everything else, and this window won't interfere, right? Now, if you close it and you get another game and you get another join request, it will actually open the request window again automatically for you. Okay. And also, once the game has started and say somebody's come in late and they want to join the game, you can click start digital game again and it will just display that QR code on your screen. So they have to come to your screen and they can scan it. So it's not going to interfere with the gameplay and the video playing on the broadcast screen. Okay, so that's digital game. It's started. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open the game window. Now, once again, if you don't have once again, if you don't have an extended screen, then you wouldn't worry about this step, right? You don't have to, put the videos up on the big screen. You can just play through the list, and people can use Shazam or whatever. But this would come directly onto the extended screen and open up in full screen mode for you. I'll come back to my main screen. Okay, so now we've got our game. Now we're going to start game. Once again, I'm not playing any audio because I don't want to be hit for the copyright strikes. Click start game. First video starts, right? And now you've got some options here. You've got play pause, next, fade to next, and check winner. So basically, play pause does exactly what it does. Hit it again. Now, the other thing too is you don't have to come up and click the button. So pressing P and P, so P plays and pauses. N takes you to the next song. Right? F fades to next. So F will put a 1 second fade in to not take it out nicely and bring the next song in. Okay, if you look over on just because you can see the artist title coming up here after the time. It's going to go fade to next. I'm going to open up the broadcast window so you can see what's happening there. So the song's playing, and after the specified time, the artist and title comes up and displays. Okay, so that's the user experience. This is what the user sees if you've got the extended screen. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on moving through here really quickly till I get a bingo. Actually, what I'll do to check for bingo, or you hit the check winner, or you hit W. Now we'd be doing this manually if we were doing paper cards and somebody calls out bingo. You say, what's your card number? Type in their card number, click check. Right, it's no bingo, and if we come to our display window, you can see that the video is still sort of playing behind it, and it's going, no, that's not. So it shows what they've got, and it shows that they haven't got a bingo. You just go end check, and you can get back to it, right? So we'll keep on coming through until I get a bingo on the mobile app. Okay, so I've reached bingo on the mobile app. So I'll show you what happens here. I hit call bingo, and you'll see that a bingo calls has come up with the time. So it will come through in the time of receive, and you can check bingo, but also show you what happens on the display screen. Okay, so it's showing bingo alert. So that's what we're talking about, the alert to the screen. Okay, so it knows what cards I've got. It knows what card number is active when I hit call bingo. So I'm going to check bingo. Now, even if I was on a different card and the bingo was on a different card that I had, the system will check it. So it will check all cards until it finds a bingo. So I'm going to go check bingo. And if I come back to this screen, you'll see all the fireworks, and I've got the bingo. Okay, I've got the pattern. All right. So what we need to do now is we need to clear and close, because we need to close the alert on the main screen, and also close the bingo alert that's on the mobile. So we click clear and close, and then we hit end check. Now what we do is we actually play a line, and when somebody gets that, we then play the same cards on to full house. And that's why you've got this end check and change to full house. So we end the check and then we automatically set the pattern to full house. However you do that is up to you. But that's basically the flow of things. And the other thing important to remember is that the call bingo, like the bingo calls window, is also a floating window, which means that you can still come in, you can pause the video and talk before you do the prize reveal. Anyway, that's it. That is a walkthrough. I probably went into far more detail than I wanted to or expected to, but that's the system. That's the gameplay. Of course, at the end we hit stop game. That cleans up your system. It clears your queues. If you had a digital game going, it cleans up the connection. It just closes everything and cleans your system up, very nicely. So that's it. That's Phenom Bingo in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. If you've got any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate in contacting me at support@phenomcentral.com. Don't forget to pick up your 14-day free trial. If you haven't already, you can go to phenomcentral.com and go download the program, get your free 14-day trial, no credit card required, and enjoy. I look forward to having you on board.